Live from the House of LeMay Makeup and Dressing Room.
Here comes Amber. Stop what you're doing. Here comes Amber. She's just doing what she can. Here comes Amber. Cue the spotlight. Here comes Amber with 2 drinks in her hand. The matriarch of fashion, from sequins to her glasses, you can't look away. Ask her, does she do it? There's really nothing to it. She's got that feminine gaze. If you have a party, or if you're feeling naughty, call up the House of LeMay. Here comes your favorite gal. Here comes your queen. Here comes the talk of the town. It's Amber Live tonight. The music starts playing, it's time for cabareting on Amber Live tonight.
Ladies and gentlemen, please turn off all cell phones and get ready for your host, Amber LeMay.
Thank you, and welcome to Amber Live. This is our 46th show. Yeah, almost a year we've been doing this, so thank you very much for stopping in tonight. It's the last night of January, and I don't know if you've noticed, but it's staying lighter longer. Tonight, here in Vermont, the sunset was at 5:01. That's the first time it's been after 5 p.m. since October 31st. Yeah, we've gone 3 months with early sunsets now. Days are getting longer, and I'm getting energized. Oh, but first, all right, now you know what to do. You got to like what you're watching, and then share. And then if you're over on Amber Live TV, subscribe to what you're watching, too. That way you'll get updates every time we go live, and we've been doing that a lot lately. So make sure you do that. Like, share, and subscribe. All right, so let's get on with it. Hey, Russell, how are you tonight?
Hey, Amber, I'm good. How are you?
Oh, I tell you, I can really feel the energy of the later sunsets. That really helps me out. Yes.
You need all the help you can get.
Oh, I tell you, it's been a long winter, that's for sure. But we're done with January. So, here in Vermont, if we get through February and March, it lightens up a little. Yeah, we can still get snow in April. That's happened before, but, 1 month at a time, I guess.
Exactly.
So, Russell, we had a fun Wednesday night, and then a Thursday night as well, too. On Wednesday night, we did our Amber Chat. Talk about that.
Well, every Wednesday night now, Amber and I and other people are coming on and doing what we're calling Amber Chat, and we welcome any questions you want about anything for Amber, and if you want to send us your email address, we can send you a link to get you on the show to just talk with Amber directly. Oh, and there's Jack for a minute.
Hi, Jack.
Hi, Jack.
As well, so kind of like this. Bye.
Bye.
Yes, Wednesday night, Jack was on there. Rocco was on there. We had Josh on. And yeah, it was a fun evening of chat. It was about an hour long, so it was just something to do.
Just a relaxed format for any topic that happens to be of interest that evening.
Yeah, we talked about a lot of different things, that's for sure. Yeah. All right, and also, and then on Thursday night, we were interviewed for the press.
Yes. We had an hour-long interview with Jesse Forend, who's a fan of ours, but also an editor of a group of newspapers, I believe called the Vermont Community Newspaper Group, that's down State Reporter, the Shelburne News, the other paper, I think, is one that's on their list, the Citizen. And she's going to be doing an article on us. So if you get those papers, you should be sure to pick up a copy or look, I'm sure they're online as well, and find out what she says about Amber.
Yeah, and we'll put a link on that at amberlive.tv too, so people can read that.
Definitely.
Yeah, so thank you very much, Jesse. That was great. All right, so awesome. Next topic, Russell. You got it.
You know my favorite topic, the Bustiers. These are the people that keep this show going, and we appreciate all of them incredibly. So it is a huge help to us. If you'd like to be a boosty down there at the bottom, you see it says Venmo at RJD Pro. Or if you're watching on Stream Ally, you can use their in-stream tipping system that's right at the top of the audience chat. And we do have 3 groups of Boostiers. If you give $25 or more, you get a sticker from us. If you support us with $100 or more, you get a sticker and a magnet. And for $200 or more, a sticker, magnet, and mug. And honestly, that is what keeps this show going. And we do need your help, and we do greatly appreciate it, because Amber can't be out here all by herself.
No. But if you have a business that would like to sponsor us, hey, we could do that too.
Yeah, we are starting to look for some business sponsors to keep this whole thing alive.
Yes. That'd be fun. That would be fun. All right, we've done that. Oh, what's the caption this week, Russell?
Well, as our regular fans know, we're going to put up a picture now, and we would like you to send your funniest captions in through the comments to Jack, and we'll show them at the end of the show. And this week, it's the groundhog, because Groundhog Day is coming up, and we want to know what you think the sign says that the groundhog is holding. So send your captions in the comments, and Jack will post them at the end of the show. What's the groundhog got in store for 2021?
Well, that's Tuesday. Yeah. I don't know what he said last year, or they said. I don't know the gender of the groundhog, but who knows? But I hope it's better this year. All right. So now we've got that taken care of. Who are the guests tonight?
We have some great guests tonight. We have an amazing trailblazer for the LGBTQ community. Clela Rorex, who is an ally who 25 years ago, it's like 46 years ago now, did something really amazing, and she's going to tell her story, and it is one you don't want to miss. And then after her, we have the incredible Dixie Longate, who is going to chew Amber's ear off, as she usually does, and has her own project to talk about, and also will just make us laugh, because that's what Dixie does.
Yes, and plus we've got Pass the Tea with Angela Mansberry and Sherry Poppins. I hear some dirt went on RuPaul this week, so they're going to tell us all about that. And Lucy Bell, bitching in the kitchen. She's got a special Super Bowl snack that she's going to have you make. And then people have been asking to hear Jack sing some more. And so we've got Jack doing a recording of Jack doing an award-winning song. So we'll hear that later in the show as well.
And don't forget, Rocco might stop by.
That's true. He might. Well, thank you very much, Russell. I will talk to you later.
Have a fun show.
Oh, it's going to be. It's going to be. And so now, here are this week's headlines. All right. Well, it's the final show of January, the month that will not end. Just think about what has happened so far in this month. We had a violent insurrection. Trump was impeached for a second time. Joe Biden was sworn in. Whew, thank goodness for that one. And then, Marissa, you're asking about the stock market? Here's a story about it. And then this week, the stock market went upside down because a bunch of Reddites did something or other. Does anyone really understand what they did? That cost hedge fund managers. Does anyone really understand what they do? And billions of dollars, because the stock market is made up of imaginary money, I guess. I don't know. And this was all on Wednesdays. Then on Friday this past week, things reached a new level in the stock battle after the trading app Robinhood restricted sales of stocks to the little guys. In retaliation, someone decided to rent a plane to fly this sign above their headquarters in San Francisco. Suck my nuts, Robin Hood. Seems like they should have just headed on down to the Castro and asked around. But in other news, a Florida town is reviewing Trump's plan to use Mar-a-Lago as his permanent residence. Apparently, years ago, when he bought the property and turned it into a private club, he had to agree with the city that no one, including himself, would be staying permanently at the property. Well, Trump might get kicked out of his own golf course the same way we kicked him out of office. I guess it doesn't pay to be a wannabe dictator, does it? Now, The QAnon shaman, you remember him? He's willing to testify against Trump at the Senate impeachment trial. Not since Judas Iscariot has a leader been betrayed by one of his own so harshly. Brutus stabbed Caesar in the back of the steps of ancient Rome, and now QAnon shaman has offered to do the same by stabbing his American flag spear into the back of the man he loves. Actually, this happens all the time with Trump because he's a criminal who manipulates other people into doing his crimes. And then they turn against him when they realize they have to go to jail. See also Michael Cohen, Mike Flynn, and these two guys who attempted to get dirt on Biden for Trump and then got busted for illegal campaign contributions. I can't wait for Fox and Friends to claim the shaman is actually an Antifa deep state agent who is the love child of Hillary Clinton and JFK Jr. Oh, JFK Jr. This one's fun. The leader of the far-right white supremacist group, the Proud Boys, has been an FBI informant for years. It turns out that Enrico Tarrio has been an informant for law enforcement for a long time, despite being one of the leaders of a national hate group. Well, he's denied it. Law enforcement has said he's been a huge help in past cases. I always wondered why the Proud Boys were so pro-cops. Now we know why. Oh, PETA wants humans to stop using animal words as slurs. It hurts the animals' feelings, I guess. Maybe we should stop making those names negative. Just make them positive. Here are some of the suggestions. Instead of chicken, call people a coward or barely legal homosexuals. Instead of rat, call them a snitch. Isn't that a much more pleasant word? And instead of pig, call them someone who has probably asked me out. And they suggest calling someone lazy instead of a sloth. Ha! Gotcha, PETA. The sloths appropriated that name from the Christian Bible. I'll let you two equally self-righteous groups fight that one out. And finally, we have news update. John Fetterman, the coolest lieutenant governor in Pennsylvania history and huge fan of this show, says he will continue to hang rainbow and weed flags from his office balcony. You may recall back on November 29th when he and his lovely wife Giselle appeared here on Amber Live. He spoke about his flags.
My office has a large balcony that's kind of like prime real estate in Harrisburg that you basically can't walk into the Capitol without walking underneath my balcony. So I hang, the first time ever in Harrisburg, I hang the Pride and Trans Pride flag off the balcony. And I'm also a big fan of legalizing weed, which you guys, of course, and marijuana flags. And this so incensed my Republican colleagues that they literally changed the law to try to ban that practice. And of course, it's absurd on its face. Where like what they're going to, unless the Pennsylvania State Police has like the gay flag division to come sneak them. I don't know who they would even call to make me take them down. So we ordered some great new ones. They just arrived the other day. So we're going to redouble those efforts to do that until Pennsylvania acknowledges that everyone deserves equal protection under the law and that we give our residents the freedom, the revenue, the justice, the jobs that comes with legalizing weed too in Pennsylvania.
I love that man. And he's going to run for Senate for Pennsylvania. I've donated. Well, anyway, the state Republicans there in Pennsylvania retaliated by slipping in a rule about unsanctioned flags in a recent spending bill. Because if anyone knows how to legislate bigotry, it's Pennsylvania Republicans. The lieutenant governor says he will continue to replace the flags each time they take them down. Keep fighting the good fight, you giant tower of progressive pride. And that's this week's headline. All right, picture it. Boulder, Colorado, 1975. People were wearing mood rings and playing with a Rubik's Cube, and they had pet rocks and were wearing leisure suits. The song of the year was Love Will Keep Us Together from Captain and Tennille. Movies that were out were One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest and Jaws. Gerald Ford was president, and Saturday Night Live, The Jeffersons, Starsky and Hutch, and Phyllis were top TV shows. That was 1975. Someone else who was active in 1975 was our next guest, Clela Rorex. Clela, come on in. Hi there, Clela.
Hi, Amber.
Hi there. So, all right, 1975. What were you doing in 1975?
I think I wore a mood ring for one thing. In 1975, I was sworn in early in January as the Boulder County Clerk and Recorder. I ran in 1974, and honestly, I credit Nixon with my election and all the other Democrats in Boulder County at that time, because we had a sweep finally, and Democrats still hold the courthouse.
Okay, so what had you been doing? Is that you?
Yeah, believe it or not.
Oh my goodness, that's adorable. So what were you doing before you became clerk recorder?
Well, I was a secretary / administrative assistant up at the University of Colorado. And I was in the process. I had just gotten divorced, single parent, and I was a feminist of the second wave feminist group. And so consciousness raising groups were a huge inspiration for me to give me courage and to make change in my own personal life.
And so you decided to run for public office.
The reason I did was because I went to a meeting where the Democratic Party was talking about who would replace the current clerk who'd been there 30 years and retiring. And they said that it had to be a man, a male candidate. And I was so pissed off about it. I went back to my consciousness raising group, and they said, well, if you feel that way about it, why don't you run? And since my father had served in Routt County over by Steamboat, Colorado for 30 years as a county clerk, I thought, well, by osmosis, I surely know some things, right? With that, I ran.
All right. So I'm sorry, I was doing some math. Back in 1975, I was 19 years old. You couldn't have been much older than that.
I was 31.
Okay. Well, girl, you're looking good. All right. So you're clerk, and then something happened that put you on the map. What was that?
Well, it didn't take long. Around the first part of March, these two guys came in together and asked for a marriage license. They were from Colorado Springs, which is still a very, very, very conservative town.
Yes.
They went to the clerk there to ask for a marriage license. And she said, well, we don't do that kind of thing here, but go to Boulder. Boulder already had a reputation. And so that's how I found them on my doorstep. And they had a specific reason for wanting to be married. They wanted to qualify for the Homestead Act and get some land.
All right. So, I mean, that wasn't legal or practiced anywhere else, was it?
Not to my knowledge. I didn't immediately say yes to them. In fact, I asked our district attorney to give me a legal opinion. And as it turns out, the Colorado marriage law at that time did not specify that marriage had to be specifically between a man and a woman. It just was mute on the subject. And so the district attorney said that it was up to me. He said, it's your decision. That was a heavy load. But I guess while I was waiting for his opinion, in retrospect, I think about that. And I think I always knew what decision I would make, that I would say yes.
So by saying yes, you gave them the license. Did they have to do anything else to get officially married?
Well, yes, they had to go get married by minister. In those days, it was usually, somebody in the church that performed weddings.
Uh-huh. Is that the couple that we just saw? Is that,
Yes.
So what were the repercussions?
All hell broke loose. I think about how I would have probably not survived it if social media had been a factor in those days. I got plenty of hate mail as it was, hate calls. And in fact, an entire church in the community that I currently live in wrote letters to me, more than one church. And pastors preached against me, said I was creating a Sodom and Gomorrah in Boulder. Yeah, that was one of the biggest arguments, Sodom and Gomorrah. And so that was how the reaction was. And because it was so severe, I also became very much in disfavor with my own political party, the Democrats. They were furious that I did something like this. But even though they talked big about overturning those licenses or passing legislation that would overturn it, they were too cowardly, really, to stick their neck out and do it. They thought it would just go away, perhaps. But I continued to issue licenses, 6 altogether. And then the state attorney general issued an opinion that perhaps my licenses would be disingenuous to gay couples, making them think they had rights that they really didn't have. And so at that point, my district attorney suggested that I stop, and I did.
So what happened to those 6 couples?
Well, I have a friend that managed to track most of them down a few years ago. A number of them have passed away. One couple actually had a formal legal action taken to annul their marriage. And I didn't know that at the time, but the judge validated those licenses by the annulment. The 5th couple is the couple that I finally, years later, got to meet and befriend, and they befriended me, I should say. They were making a film and about their life, 12 years of their life together. They were together for more than 40 years. And they had been together for a number of years when they came to get a license. They saw me made fun of basically on the Johnny Carson show. And with that, they thought, this is all that's standing against us for Tony, who's Australian. The couple were Tony Sullivan and Richard Adams. Tony was Australian, and he was going to be deported. Oh. So they wanted the license to fight immigration, and they did a great service to the LGBT community because they took their case all the way up to circuit court in California. And of course, they were denied. Tony was deported by none other than Judge Kennedy, who later became Justice Kennedy in the Supreme Court. And as you know, in 2015, when the court ruled for same-gender marriage, Justice Kennedy was a yes vote. So perhaps he was thinking of Tony and Richard and the vote that we had taken so many years ago.
So, Clela, you were honored, or your actions were honored a few years ago. Well, tell me about that.
Well, let's see. Maybe you're thinking about our local Out Boulder group, who a few years ago, several years ago now, created an award to give each year to, it was called Allies in Action. And so every year they give this award to an ally who has just been there as an activist, or been there working behind the scenes to support the LGBTQ community. And maybe that's what you're talking about.
Well, I heard a plaque was erected at your.
Oh, that's what you're talking about. Oh, okay. Okay, that was more recent, really.
Okay.
Yes, the National Historic Society, there it is, gave the old courthouse where my office was positioned National Historic designation based on those marriage licenses. And in fact, the Colorado History Society is at this moment trying to upgrade that recognition to landmark status. So we will see. But the plaque was created by the Boulder County Commissioners. And I was hesitant about this whole thing, but I was so glad that they went ahead and did it because the plaque was it's very nice. And it's right on the outside at the front of the courthouse. And that night when they had a unveiling, and so many people showed up, and I just was so grateful and so moved that they showed up for this unveiling of that plaque. And I thought that the best thing that plaque really could do is maybe when young people pass by it, they will see that Boulder County is there to think about them and to support them. And that's just one of the things that I hope for. I hope the message is.
Clela, my friends will find this hard to believe, but I'm almost speechless. I just love you, love your story. Thank you. You're welcome. We'll have you back for the quiz later on, but
okay.
Oh my goodness. Thank you.
Very nice to talk to you. Thank you.
Oh my goodness. Wow. Chills, almost tears, just what it took back in 1975 to do that. Clela, thank you. Well, now for something completely different. We've got one of our favorite new segments called Pass the Tea, talking about RuPaul's Drag Race. Run the film, Russell.
Girl, that's hot.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to Pass the Tea. I am Angela Mansberry.
And I'm Sherry Poppins. And this week, we are discussing RuPaul's Drag Race, Episode 5, The Bag Ball.
A design challenge. We haven't had a design challenge in a while.
I feel like they don't give them to the girls as often on Drag Race US, so I was pleasantly surprised to see it.
It was fun. And of course, each of the queens had to do 3 looks this week. The first look, which was mixed bag, so it had to be a bag pun, which some of these queens really had fun with that.
Some of the girls got way more creative than others, and I loved it. The second round, what was the second round called?
The second one was called Money Bag.
Money Bag.
And then the third one, they had to do a design using bags.
Called Gagus with Bagus.
Gagged. Okay, so which of the queens, which was your favorite across the board?
As like a package, I would say there was definitely more than just 2, but I would say top 2 for me would be Got Mick. Simply because I thought all 3 looks were really consistently avant-garde. And then Rosé definitely came up strong this week for me too. I loved that third look. It's something that I would wear in a heartbeat.
Yeah, with the balls, the movement was great. I could see her walking around a bar and performing in a bar and everyone just losing their minds over that look.
Yeah, and as much as I would ruin it, I love sculptural hair, but what were your 2 favorites?
I really enjoyed, I think Utica is one of my favorite queens on this season. I think Utica has such a good eye for a campy, stylish aesthetic. I just loved the sleeping bag look that she did. It was so well made. It was so clever. And she also did a dookie bag as the dog. So she's walking around as a poodle.
So good.
So clever, so fun. And I thought Denali was also really very strong. Denali, she did a crash test dummy, an airbag. Very clever.
Yeah, that was awesome.
That was really clever. And then I also really liked her design. I thought the design came out quite well. Mm-hmm. So it was a tight race between these queens, but then we had our top 2.
Yes.
Were who?
It was Utica and Got Mick.
Utica and Gottmik, which I agree, and Gottmik
100%.
and Gottmik end up winning the challenge. For me personally, I think Utica edged her out a bit more. But I thought Gottmik was still very strong, so I was still very happy for her. But
yes, and then let's talk about the bottoms.
yeah,
we had 3 bottoms before we got into the bottom 2. The 3 bottoms were Lala Ree, Joey J, and Tamisha Iman. But the lip syncers were Lala Ree and Joey, which I wasn't mad about because I'm over here like big Tamisha stan. So
yeah, they couldn't send Tamisha home this way. There's no way.
No, not yet.
And so they had to lip sync to Fancy by Iggy Azalea. And I think that was one of my there was a moment in that lip sync that was one of my favorites that I've ever seen on this show, which was Joey J has money in her bra. She throws the money into the air. It's a big moment. And Lala Ree, in this perfect drag instinct, starts bending down on the floor and picking up the money, which talk about that with me. That was one of my favorite moments.
It was so good. I mean, like I'll say again, that tweet I saw, like I saw someone tweet saying that lip sync was the difference between a man in a wig and a drag queen. And I didn't want to repost it because I don't want to, spread that kind of energy. But I mean, in a way, I agreed with it, right? Because we had a girl, Joey J, who had a rehearsed little gimmick, and it was cute, but it takes real skill and confidence in your craft to be able to be reactionary in the way that Lala Ree was and like roll with the punches and be like, I can make a moment of this unplanned.
And it's just that super spontaneity. That's what I gravitate to when I see a drag show in a bar. It's
exactly
the reaction in real time. You feel like as an audience member, you're playing along with them as they're realizing this in the moment.
It almost feels interactive.
Yes,
There's not a disconnect between the viewer and the performer.
Yes, and that was it was one of my favorite moments I've ever seen in any lip sync for your life. And it was such a simple choice that was so effective.
Simple and effective.
So of course, the way that it ended, Joey J went home, which we know we're gonna miss Joey J. But also, I'm excited for Lala Ree to be on the stage another day.
I would be excited to see Lala have like a redemption moment from here on out and kind of like be up on the up and up from here on out, because I think she would be deserving of that. It'd be exciting to see for sure.
Right. Well, and so next week we have Disco Dancing Challenge, where that's going to be a lot of fun.
Yes. And anyone that knows me knows that I am a super slut for disco. So I can't wait. I want us to do disco looks next week.
Yes, we're gonna take a ride on that disco stick, girl.
Hey, Studio 54. Are you happy to see me or what?
Yes. And so we will be back next week for another episode of Pass the Tea. Thank you so much for joining us. Once again, I am Angela Mansberry.
And I'm Sherry Poppins. Back to you, Amber.
Cheers,
Cheers,
girl.
baby.
Bye.
Bye.
Girl, that's hot.
Thank you, girls. Oh, wasn't that fun? Oh, I can't wait for next week, the disco show. Oh, now we're going to have them live coming up in a couple of weeks. So you can call in or you can comment on some questions about what they think. So that'll be fun too. Hey, Russell.
Hey, Amber.
Whoa. Clela. Oh, my goodness.
Clea's amazing, isn't she?
Oh, my goodness. That was just too much. All right. So let's see. We're in midway. So how's that? We want to show that caption again. It's Groundhog's Day.
We want to remind people to send in captions. What's the groundhog announcing this year? And don't tell me it's 6 more weeks of Trump, because he's gone.
Yeah, so we want to see his comment. So in the comments, write caption and then give us your comment.
So, and then I want to tell people today is the very last day of our giveaway for this tote bag. If you'd like to enter to win an Amber Live tote bag, you can go to amberlive.tv. And there's a button that says click to win, and all you have to do is fill out the form and you will be entered to win that, or for a chance to win that bag. And you'll also get our incredible email keeping you up to date on who's going to be on each week.
Yes, so make sure you do that.
So, and then we've got a picture that was actually put on Instagram by our friend John of his Amber mug. because he's working from home and he's got a lot of coffee mugs going there, although I think one's a cereal bowl, but
and we know John likes his caffeine.
he does. So if you've got pictures of yourself, either with your Amber Live products from our store or just watching Amber Live like these folks, we would love to hear from you. So, just let us know.
Yeah. All right. Let's hear from our sponsor.
I do want to remind people about the Bustier Club. If you want to help us out, don't forget at RJD Pro, which is down there at the bottom, and they go hand in hand with our sponsor.
It's officially winter time now, and the days are getting longer, but they're still cold, and it's a great time of year to stay inside, safe and warm. And Amber Live can help you do all of that. We have sweatshirts and hoodies to snuggle up in the cold winter nights, and get yourself an Amber Live mug for your coffee, your hot chocolate, or some of those adult beverages that Lucy Bell's been fixing up. And if you must go outside, how about wearing an Amber Live mask, please? We've got all that and much more at the Amber Live store. Order your merchandise today. Yes, we want to make sure you order your merchandise. And so we did now it's time for Amber's top 5 of the week. And tonight, my top 5 is the top 5 people most likely to betray Trump once he goes on trial. Number 5, Melania. You know she wants out. That woman put on a tropical muumuu for a reason. This is her big chance. Number 4, every protester who stormed the Capitol. Those soft, doughy QAnon folks are not ready for federal prison. Number 3, Don Jr., but only after he finally realizes his dad never loved him. Number 2, Ivanka, but only if it means she can be president next. Yeah, she wants to be. I knew those tears were fake. And finally, the number 1 person who will betray Donald Trump is Stephen Miller. I'm just kidding. That little Nazi is so far up Trump's butt, he can taste the Big Macs with his own mouth. And that's my top 5 for the week. All right, we mentioned her early, and she's back. Lucy Bell LeMay with Bitchin' in the Kitchen.
Bitchin' in the Kitchen with Lucy Bell.
Hey everybody, it's Lucy Bell LeMay here with another episode of Bitchin' in the Kitchen, coming to you from the hot damn trailer park in Beaver Pond, Vermont. It's a week before the Super Bowl, and you know everybody is getting ready and preparing. Well, I've got a dish in the oven all ready for us to start, but what do we need first? Cocktail. This is an easy cocktail. You know, everybody loves mimosas. Yeah. So we're going to start with orange juice. Put a little orange juice in here. This is going to be more of a beer mosa. Yes, got some Blue Moon. Oh, yeah. This is the expensive beer. We usually can't afford this in Beaver Pond. Oh, look at the head we've already got there. Yes. Oh, wow. Well, I don't want this to go to waste. It's good. But I bet it's even better with the orange juice. It is. Today, I am going to show you how to make nachos with tater tots. Yes, tater tot nachos. Who doesn't love tater tots? Especially during the big game. I've already got tater tots in the oven. They're almost ready to come out. I think they probably are. Let me get my mittens on. Of course, my mittens aren't as cute as Bernie's. Oh my God, you can't beat that. Oh, what a viral mess. Just follow directions on your tater tots of how to cook the tater tots. And what you want to do is cook them till about 5 minutes before they're done. Take them out, decorate them with the cheese and the meat, and then stick them back in the oven, let that melt. And then we'll use all of our special toppings. Ooh, beer's giving me burpees. This is some leftover taco meat we had from the other night. We saved it. I knew it would come in handy. Oh, yeah. And then we're going to stick this back in the oven, usually for about 5 minutes, until the cheese melts real good, because the meat's already cooked. Oh, let's see if well, here, still got a few more minutes. So good. Oh yeah, they're ready. Look at that. So nice. Oh, and we'll get us some of these. Ooh, hot. There we go. Look at that. Ooh, super duper. Here, I'm going to put a little guacamole, some salsa, and a few black olives. Why not? Look at that. That's good, especially after drinking. Something to absorb the alcohol. Now let's see how they taste. Messier the better. This is quite tasty. Yeah, especially after a few beer mimosas. But you know, I'd have to say my bitch this week is that we're not being able to get together for the Super Bowl game. It's like we've always had so much fun in the past. Back whenever we used to have a gay bar in Vermont, we used to hold parties all the time at 135 Pearl. We'd make Jell-O shots, give them out to the crowd. Everybody have so much fun cheering for their team. Sometimes they didn't even know who the frick was playing. Who cares? It's a fun party. All those chicken wings, and now we can have tater tots. So remember, stay safe. Wash your hands, watch your distance, and wear your mask.
Thank you, Lucy Bell. Those look good. Yes. Yeah. Oh, yeah. The Super Bowl's next Sunday, but we're going to still be doing a show. So if you're not interested in football, come over and watch us. All right. Now, I'm so happy to get my next guest. She's a return guest, and we haven't had too many of those, but we had to have Dixie back. Dixie Longate, come on in. Where'd you go, girl? She's back in that green room.
Oh, I'm here. I'm here. You can't get rid of me. I keep popping up. I'm like a rash I don't got a stab for. I keep coming back when you don't want me to be. How are you?
Fine, Dixie. So what do you got there in your sippy cup there?
I found some wine that I opened the other day, and then I forgot to open it, and so I got to use it because I don't want the wine to go bad because that's just unchristian. You know, Jesus looks down and he's like, "Don't waste things," or what? I didn't read that part of the Bible, but I'm sure it's in there. You know, he's like, "Don't do that, do," or whatever. I read up to the part of the Bible where Jesus like turns water into wine, and I participate, and then I kind of black out, and I got to read it again. So I never got to like the whale with Jonah. A bunch of stories, you know.
So Dixie, what have you been doing to keep yourself busy these past couple months?
Well, it has been crazy, as you know, because some of your audience might know I do a show called Dixie's Tupperware Party that started off Broadway in 2007 and then went on the road in 2008. And I've been touring the world. I've been in 5 different countries now with my program, and it's been going all over the United States and everything. And then in March, like everything else, everything shut down. All the theaters all over the country shut down, and so all my shows kind of got pushed back, and we don't know when they're going to be and everything. And so I thought, well, first of all, you know, I had to come home, which is nice and everything. But then the kids are like, "Mama, we don't have school no more." And I'm like, "Nah, I don't believe it." You know, they're being late from the principal or whatever. And then so they put the note. They're like, "We got a note." I'm like, "Shove it under the door," and they did. And I was like, "That's all right." And so now that I'm like taking care of my kids and everything, but I thought I want to do something. I want to still be creative and still make people smile, but at the same time, you know, the theaters are all closed down. They don't have any money coming in because they don't have any shows with any tickets being sold. So I'm like, what can I do to give back to the industry that's been so kind to me for so many years? So I thought, let me write a show and then have it stream from the theaters and use it as a fundraiser so that they can get some money coming in. So I have a new show called Dixie's Happy Hour. And you can see right there, there's my picture. Shut up. And then, yeah. Oh, look at what you did. You're so crafty with your button pushing and everything. So this is my new show. It's called Dixie's Happy Hour. And what it is, I talk about the 4 basic food groups: rum, gin, vodka, and tequila. And then I also talk about sort of the happy hours that you might be missing because they're not right in front. Like you know, when you're walking down the street and you trip over like a baby, you're like, gross. But if you trip over like a 20, you're like, yay, bonus. And then you pick the 20 up and your day is better. And so I thought, okay, let me talk about stories that are like that, like the great moments that are in front of you, the happy hours that are right there. But people are missing them right now because everything has been so upended in our lives that we have to focus on so much different stuff that we didn't think of before, and we're missing some great stuff that's right in front of us. So I wanted to like create a show that talked about those stories and those kind of things like that. So that's what I did. And so when I put together this whole thing, I got a bunch of art centers involved. So there are art centers from all over the country that are streaming the show. So it started this week in Kansas City, and then it goes. Right now, we got theaters all the way till April that are streaming it. We got a bunch of them online already, a bunch more coming online in the next couple of weeks. And so if you buy whatever theater you buy the ticket from, they get the lion's share of the money that goes to them. And that's the whole thing. So I wanted to do it as a fundraiser to give back to all these great theaters that have been so neighborly to me for so many years. And so that's what I'm doing. I'm keeping myself busy, and it's been, a labor of love, but I think at the end of the day, I want to make sure that people are taken care of, and I want to make sure people are smiling. I know this is a tough time right now. So, and it keeps me busy because otherwise then the kids are going to like, Mama, make me, lunch or whatever. And then that's a hassle. Then you got to like stop drinking, or you ever go to the baby's room because it's crying, and then you're like, ugh, and then you like put down your drink, and then because you pick up the baby, because like I'm a mother that cares, so I like pick up the baby like, and then you forget your drink in the baby's crib, and then it's just like a whole hassle for the next 12 hours. Like, where did I put up my tumbler? You know how it is. So it's been a weird time since I got home. So I'm doing my best to kind of keep myself smiling and keep those around me smiling as well.
That's great. And also on your Facebook page, you do some live showings, and you have motivational Mondays. I like that.
I do. I do stuff every week on my Facebook Live and on my Instagram and everything to try to keep people engaged. So I got motivational Mondays, which is about trying to find the motivated things in you. And then I do like Tupperware Tuesdays, where I talk about some great Tupperware products. I do different things throughout the week. And like my motivational Monday for tomorrow, because a lot of people have been doing Sober January, which is totally made up by a mommy blogger in New Jersey that ran out of topics. And so what this is like, I always heard, like, if you have an idea, take it and then make it better. And so I heard Sober January, and I'm like, gross, it's made up. It's like Hogwarts. It's just all fake. And so I said, let me do not Sober January. So I've been super good about having a new cocktail every day for the entire month of January. So all 36 days, I have done a different cocktail. I'm so proud of myself. I've been able to check a box off every day. Like I pick my stuff up off the floor and I like scribble on the floor, check, like I did it or whatever. And so I've been really, really good about it. And I've done all 36 days or whatever of January. And I'm going to report on that tomorrow for Motivational Monday. And that's important because, I believe about giving back a little bit. Because so many times people have given to me, and like sometimes I haven't even had to go get a pill to get it removed. And so for me, it's like, oh my God, I want to give back.
So how's the Tupperware business doing?
It's funny. I've been doing some little Tupperware parties, some little things that I said, I do Tupperware Tuesdays online. So I go and show some like the great specials that we have, and then say, hey, if you need food storage solutions, I'm your gal. Go ahead and you can purchase them. And then people get them and they're like, yay, and the stuff is fresh or whatever. And so, yeah, you know what? I keep doing what I can, because since I can't be on the road doing the program anymore right now, I'm at least going to be able to help people with their food storage. Because it'd be so mean if I was such a good Tupperware lady, but I prevented people the opportunity from being able to get it. Because sometimes people are like, oh, I made some crap and I don't want it to go bad when I put it in my mouth. And so this way I can get them Tupperware, and then they put it in their mouth and it's fresh. And like, that's the best thing I've had in my mouth these days, or whatever, like whatever your time period is, it doesn't matter. But yeah, so things are going good.
So what's the number one seller on Tupperware right now?
There's so many great things that I love, and I don't have all my stuff with me because I would show you, but I have my wine opener is just flying off the damn shelves. On account of the fact that, when you have to open a wine like every day or whatever, and you're like, oh, I burped a little bit. I feel like I had a beer mosa. Lord, it just keeps coming up. And, when you have like, I'm driving in the car to the Piggly Wiggly to get a whatever, and then I'm super thirsty. Well, what you can do is, if you, like me, and you take the wine opener and you keep it in the, in the glove box, you can reach into the stash of wine that's in the back of the car and then open it with a wine opener, and before the light turns green, you're ready to start drinking. I think that's very, very important, because you don't get it parched. If you're like driving, you're like, that can be distracting to you and you're driving. And so this way you don't have to worry about that when you got the Tupperware wine opener. Like I'm a giver. I always believe in giving. And like a lot of people don't know, this is a great idea. Like right now, I wish I had wine opener out to show you, but I do have a bottle of wine. A lot of people are working from home right now, but at some point, and some people are going to have to go back to the office. Well, we've all been really used to drinking at home. And you're like, how do I keep that going when I'm going to the office? Well, I'm going to tell you. What you do is you get like a bottle of wine, and you get the Tupperware wine opener, you tie it together, put a little bow on it and a little tag on it. And then you put it in your bag. Now you stay 5 minutes later after work closes, and then you take that and you put it on your desk with like a little tag that says, Harold from Finance loves it, all the work you're doing. Thank you for that. Here's a little gift. And then when you come in the morning, you're like, oh, my Lord, Harold loves the work I'm doing, and he gave me a gift. Well, I can't let that bottle of wine go to waste. Let me just go ahead and open it, put my straw in it, and drink throughout the day, because it would be just unchristian to not be drinking from it. And then like the next day you put another one, like Debbie from HR really is grateful for all your help. And so, that way you can be drinking all the, and then of course everybody's going to come up to you and be like, why is everybody giving you gifts? You must be so good at your job, which will lead to a raise. Like I'm sitting here helping y'all because sometimes people don't understand how to do it.
Okay. So, one more question about Tupperware. Have you ever thought of an idea for Tupperware and you suggested it, but they said no? Or
they do so many things that before I even get to them, they've already come out with it. Like this, my tumbler that I love so much for everything in the world. It's got this little thing. See this little hole in it? You can stick a straw in it, and then look, it closes up so things don't drip out, which is amazing. Because like, if you ever been drinking and driving and you hit a baby or whatever, and then you're like, oh no, now I've got to clean the grill of my car and I got to clean the inside of my car because my martini spilled or whatever. You're like, this way you don't got to worry about it because it closes up like a little vagina, and just that way you don't got to worry about nothing. I would never have thought of anything so clever. So like they do it for me. So every time I'm like, hey, have you ever thought about? They're like, we already got it. I'm like, you do. So and this is the thing. Because I've been selling Tupperware for like almost 20 years as part of the conditional on parole. And then when it came up to do my show, Dixie Tupperware party, I'm like, well, now I can bring it to everybody that didn't even think that Tupperware was still around anymore. And then I did my second show, Never Wear a Tube Top While Riding a Mechanical Bull, and 16 other things I learned while I was drinking last Thursday. And now my new show, Dixie's Happy Hour, I just keep adding to the pile. Like, if you ever had sex with somebody for like a lot of times in a row, and they keep jumping on other people that you've already had sex with, it's like a pile up. It's like that, but with shows. And without the sex.
Yeah. Well, thank you, Dixie. And let's put up her website one more time so we know that we know how to get that. Dixie's Happy Hour, and that's where they can get tickets for your show.
Tickets for the show, and then there's 9 theaters on there right now. There's a bunch more that are coming on next week. A bunch more that are coming on. And so, what my encouragement to do is like come and look at the theaters that are closest to where you are geographically, and then that way get tickets through that theater. That way, you're supporting that theater because that's one's going to get the money from the tickets that you're purchasing. So, and like. There's a bunch of theaters coming online over the next month. So I think right now I have about 50 theaters that are participating when all is said and done. So I'm really grateful that so many theaters have stepped up and said, we want to work with y'all and do this kind of thing. And I was like, that's a nice kind of scene. So,
well, I've got some ideas of theaters, and I'll pass your information on to them.
Absolutely. Aren't you sweeter than poop on a stick? I appreciate it.
I try to be. All right, Dixie, it's time for our weekly quiz. So let's bring Clela back in. Hey, Clela.
Right, let's hear this.
So, Clela, I forgot to ask you something. Someone told me a story about you and a horse.
Let's hear that story. Well, after I issued a couple of licenses, this guy showed up at the courthouse, Roz Howard, and he had his horse Dolly with him. And I looked out my window, I could see this happening, and I thought, oh my God, the media was all over the place. He'd set this up. So he came in to get a license for him and Dolly, and he said, if a man can marry a man, woman can marry a woman, why can't a tired old cowboy marry his favorite horse, Dolly? So I just went through the motions of beginning to write out the license for him, not having any idea what I would do. And finally, I came to the question on age, Dolly's age. She was only 8, I think he said. And I just put my pen down and said, well, I'm sorry, but she's not old enough to get married without
I didn't know I could love you more, Clela. I didn't. All right, so let's get on with the quiz. And the quiz is titled, What Day Is It? Because February starts tomorrow. And while it's the shortest month, but there's every day in February, there's a reason to celebrate. Now, I'm going to give you the day of the month and 3 possible reasons to party. And you're going to tell me which is the official one, all right? So it's 1, 2, or 3. So first one is tomorrow, February 1st. Is it National Serpent Day, National Homemade Soup Day, or Pay a Compliment Day? Which day is tomorrow? 1, 2, or 3? Dixie says 2. Clela says 1. It is. It's National Serpent Day. Now, National Serpent Day gives snakes and serpents alike their slithering due. Across religions and cultures, the serpent has been used as a symbol of evil, medicine, fertility, and much more. Over 3,000 species of snakes populate the earth, and I've dated most of them. By the way, Homemade Soup Day is on the 4th, and Compliment Day is on the 6th. All right. So
we just had like a National Compliment Day the other day. I think everybody just makes this crap up because on account of the fact that we had Compliment Day the other day, and I'm complimenting people all the time. And one time I had a snake near me that I was like, wow, get that out of my mouth.
Now we'll talk about February 8th. Is it Make a Friend Day, National Kite Flying Day, or National Tortellini Day? Friends, kites, or tortellini? 1, 2, or 3. We have a 3. What do you say, Clela? She says 3, Tortellini Day. Well, nope. It's National Kite Flying Day. And that encourages the exploring kite flying and kite making. Enthusiasts across the
kite in the middle of the winter.
That's what I'm thinking. You know, it's cold here in February. But by the way, Make a Friend Day is the 11th, and Tortellini Day is the 13th. However, if you make me a triple cheese tortellini dinner, I'm your friend for life. You know, that's true. Okay. Now, February 15th. Is it National Gumdrop Day, National Organ Donor Day, or National Love Your Pet Day? 1, 2, or 3. Dixie says 2. What do you say, Clela? She says 2 as well. It is National Gumdrop Day. Yes. Gumdrops were believed to be invented by Percy Truesdale in 1801. Oh, Percy, thank you. You want to celebrate? Design an outfit based on around gumdrop to wear for the day. This might include fashioning these classic little candies into edible jewelry, such as earrings or a necklace.
I'm going to make a cocktail that tastes like a gumdrop, and then I think that is the best way to celebrate National Gumdrop Day.
Now, by the way, National Organ Donor Day is on Valentine's Day. What? I give my heart to you?
Heart, sure. Or my kid. Yeah. Or that one down there that, you know, that really doesn't have any use anymore that's near the tail.
And while National Love Your Pet Day is celebrated on the 20th, if you need a designated day to love your pet, you might want to reconsider your priorities there. All right, February 22nd, is it National Battery Day, Do a Grouch a Favor Day, or Be Humble Day? 1, 2, or 3. We say a 1, say a 3. It is Be Humble Day. Yes. Now, personally, I have no idea how anyone would acknowledge Be Humble Day. That's just me. But National Battery Day is the 21st, and Do a Grouch a Favor Day is on the 16th. Now, maybe buying the Grouch some batteries would make a nice favor. I think that would be good.
Yeah, because you can put them in your bag, and you can put them in that thing in the sock drawer by the bedside table, and then you're like, I'm not grouchy. Like my mom loves it. Like when they come in the multi-pack, you don't even have to go to the grocery store to make the vibrator work for 3 years in a row. It's awesome.
You and I think a lot alike. Mm-hmm. And finally, February 28th is a chocolate-covered nut day, National Public Sleeping Day, or National Drink Wine Day. That's the 28th. Which is it? 1, 2, or 3? 3? And
I'm going to uncomfortably say number 2.
It's National Public Sleeping Day. Yes. It encourages people to commune with nature by sleeping outdoors in public. Again, it's February in Vermont. So apparently on this day, someone sleeping outside may not be homeless.
No.
They might just be in a celebratory mood. And chocolate covered nut day is the 25th, and wine day is on the 18th. So you can celebrate that, Dixie.
I celebrate it every day because I'm an overachiever.
Thank you so much, Clela and Dixie. It's been a wonderful show. I love you both. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for having me on. And Clela, thank you for all your pioneering spirit. What you've done for the LGBTQ community is incredible. So you're a true giver. God bless you.
Thank you, Dixie.
Thank you. Thank you very much, ladies. It's been a pleasure. All right, on with the show. Whew, that was just too much, too much. So let's see, what do we have now? I'm looking at my list there. Oh, do I see a Rocco? Is there a Rocco in the house?
Where?
There he is.
Where's Rocco? Hey,
Rocco.
here I am.
Yes.
You asked and look, there I am, right here.
Yes, wearing white. That's nice. That's a bold choice.
I took my jacket off because of the snow.
Oh, snow. So you got snow where you are today?
No, but it's coming. We're getting a nor'easter.
Ooh.
I didn't even know it was Easter.
So what do you want to talk about today, Rocco?
Well, you got all this talk about same-sex marriage, right?
Yeah.
I personally got a problem with same-sex marriage. Now, hear me out. I think it is definitely a downfall to marriages. Now, you want to know why? Because, listen, when you first get together, you and your significant other, the sex is fantastic, right? You're trying all different things, getting to know each other's bodies and stuff, and you're having a great time. And as time goes on, you get married. And then you're kind of falling into the same sex all the time. Now, this is a problem. That's the downfall to a lot of marriages. If you're going to spice things up, have different sex. Try different positions or something. Read a book on, like, Tantric or that Kama Sutra. So same sex is really killing marriages. Spice it up, people. Live a little.
I finally got it there. Same sex in marriage.
What do you think I was talking about?
Rocco, sometimes I kind of doze off. So
yeah, well, that's not good. That's because we're at the end of the show. You put me on at the end of the show, you're tired. You can't handle an hour.
Well, Dixie kind of wears people down.
Crazy. I like her.
Oh,
whoa.
Oh my goodness. Just both just fantastic people. That was just great. What are your plans? January's done. Any plans for February with you, Rocco?
I know this little kid, Riley, is turning 3 years old tomorrow, so I'm going to eat cake.
Oh, that's my goodness. Oh my goodness, little Rocco. Oh, he's your nephew, isn't he? That's
yes,
right.
But I'm talking about my niece, Riley.
Oh, okay.
Or Rockette. Anyway, so that's one thing, and I'll probably be shoveling snow, even though I got to be at work at 7 in the morning. You believe that?
Oh my!
These nurses want to hear erotic poetry at 7 in the morning.
Well, I'm just glad you're able to go to work. You were ill for a while. You were little.
Yeah, I'm better. Who would have thunk it?
Yeah.
All it takes is a little vaccine. Don't be afraid to get that shot, people. I never know where to look.
I'm waiting. I'm waiting. I'll be right there in line when they say so.
Good, because there's a lot of people who are still afraid to get it. It's like you have an opportunity to be a pioneer, like Clela. You be a pioneer in terms of, hey, there's this new disease, a virus out there that's really messing things up for a lot of people. You got a chance to get a shot and be good. Do it.
Do it.
That's what pussy.
Rocco says do it.
I
agree.
Do it.
Hey. All right, thank you. Rocco, it was nice talking to you on Wednesday night when you stopped by Amber Chat as well.
I love Amber Chat. I don't know if your audience is watching Amber Chat, but it's pretty funny.
That's
right. A lot of funny things going on at Amber Chat on Wednesdays, 8 o'clock, right?
Pretty much around that time, yes.
Yeah.
Yes. All right. Well, thank you very much, Rocco. We'll see you soon.
All right. Goodbye. Remember, spice it up in the bedroom.
Rocco's anti-same sex.
Get a swing.
Thank you for cutting him off. Who knows what was going to be said then. All right. Let's bring Jack in. Jack. Hey,
hello.
Jack.
Hey, Amber. How are you?
I'm well. Nice seeing you again.
Nice to see you too, as always.
Now, someone contacted me and said, "What happened to Jack's name? It was Jack Q."
Oh yeah.
Oh, well, I had cleared my internet search history because I was afraid that all of the people who tried to storm the Capitol, all those QAnon people, were spying on me. So then I had to relog into StreamYard and I had to do everything all over again. And I forgot about the JAQ stylistic thing.
Well, I said you
It was
changed your
nothing
name.
personal.
I say you change your name as often as you change your facial hair. So
yeah, it's like a weekly thing.
Yeah. So Jack, tell us about this award you won.
Right. So I made a music video. I released it December, like Christmas 2019, and then I submitted it to a bunch of film festivals, and it got accepted to a number of them. It was in the official selection, and there was one screening that I got to go see last March, the 12th, and then everything got shut down. So all of the film festivals that were going on, they went online. So I had one that was in person, and everything else happened online in the past year. And I won a couple of awards.
All right. Well, let's see that clip of that song.
This is a slow jam for the slow girl.
Oh girl, I want you 'cause you're a girl, and I like you 'cause you're a girl, 'cause I'm totally into girls, and none of my friends are girls, and I only sing my song to a girl, even though you're kinda tall for a girl.
Somebody wanna come and bust a move, but I ain't gonna have it 'cause I'm with you. Come over to my place and I'll cook for you. Would you like to eat a peach or a food with you? Girl, you got a hand, so let me hold it. If you wanna smoke, then I can roll it. I don't care what other guys you've been with, 'cause I can bust a rhyme like Ludacris. Later we're taking it down to the floor, bumping and grinding and begging for more, doing it nastier than Jersey Shore. Baby, by morning, you know we'll be sore. Girl.
Well, that was great, Jack.
Thanks.
Where could people? I see you changed your name back. So, where can people find more of your songs, or that one?
Well, that one is available. It is on my website. Let me put that up right now. And there it is, jackwent.com.
Oh, that's great. And do you have other songs up there as well?
Well, I have the videos that I've put up that have been presented here on Amber Live. Sorry, I'm not thinking straight today. I'm getting over a cold right now. Just a regular cold, not a COVID cold. So my head's in a bit of a fog right now.
Okay.
But I went to the liquor store and I got some rum chata, as suggested.
Lucy
by
Bell
Luke.
will be happy. Yeah.
So yeah, I have the Autumn Leaves video up there, and the All I Want for Christmas Is You video that were presented on this show for the Christmas show that you did, and for the Leaf Peep and Cider Sip and Review. And I also have a couple of audition videos that I've put up. There's one where I recreate all the highlights of the film Pulp Fiction in about 2 minutes.
Well, great. We'll have to show that sometime. All right.
Yeah.
So how are the comments tonight? Anything good?
Oh yeah, we did have some good ones. Let's see that gopher or groundhog or whatever the hell that creature was.
Yes.
Yeah, I think it's the groundhog. So Larry said, caption is, I'm glad he's grabbing pussy and not beaver.
Right.
Charlotte says, Trump will not run again. Repeat. Jess says, if I see you without a mask, 10 more months of winter.
Oh,
that's a pretty harsh threat right there, especially with all the snow we're supposed to get. Big J
Yes.
Beaupre says, springtime, let's get this party rolling.
Let's start rolling.
Cousin Craig says, you better hope I see my shadow or you're getting 6 more months of COVID.
I'm afraid we're going to have that, whether it was any shadows seen or not.
And we got one more. We have impersonator at the hot damn trailer park. Courtesy of Cindy Zook.
All right. Well, thank you, folks, for adding to the show. Hey, Russell, come on in.
Hello again.
Hey.
Hello. Oh, my goodness. What a great show.
It was a great show.
Oh, my goodness. That was just super. So, Russell, what do you want to cover before we head out?
Well, you know what I want to cover. All the important parts of the show, for me anyway. our super bustiers and our bustiers who help keep us running. Don't forget, you can send us a tip or send us your support at the Venmo there at RJD Pro, or you can use the Stream Ally in-stream tipping system if you're watching through Stream Ally. And again, that's at RJD Pro on Venmo, and we really, really do appreciate it a lot, because it helps keep all of this going, keeps the lights on in Amber's basement.
Keeps Amber mic'd.
Yes. All right. So, Russell, what do we have coming up next week?
You know, I just drew a blank on that when you said that. I went, what are we doing next week?
It's the retrospective.
Oh, yes. Thank you. I'm like, there should be 2 guests, but actually we've got like 6 guests next week. We are doing a drag ball retrospective of all 26 years of the drag ball, talking with people who were there when it started, including, I think, at least 1 or 2 people on this call. So we have DJ Rob Douglas. I think we're going to have Chris Friday, who used to work for Higher Ground, where the drag ball happened many years. We have our great friend Yolanda on the show. And we are crossing our fingers. We have Stephen West, but what we would really love is if Cherry stopped by, so we could have Cherry and Yolanda together again.
Oh, my goodness. Well, for people who are unfamiliar with Winters at Drag Ball, it's a huge event that's been held in Burlington for 25 years. And we're going to be doing a virtual one this year. We'll tell you more about that next week. But we're just looking back, and you're going to learn a lot about drag history and what's been going on for Vermont the past years. So it's going to be a great show. So thank you for putting that together, Russell.
Oh, you're welcome. Happy to do it.
All right. Well, thank you, guys. Have a good week. And you're in New York. I think you're going to get more snow than we are in Vermont. So be careful.
Making chili and staying inside.
I went to the grocery store and I got a bunch of soup.
Soup. Well, homemade soup day is coming up on the 4th. So
snake soup.
Snake soup. Oh. All right. Oh, my goodness. Well, thank you so much for joining us tonight. We're here every week, as we have been for the past 46. So we'll be back again next week. I'm going to be here. Hope you will be too. Bye-bye.
So far, season 2 is off to a great start.
More like season 2.
Oh, Book. You always were the queen of the single entendre.
The what? Don't call me that.
Why not?
Because I have no idea what that means.